Welcome back to your view with me on Khopotse JJ Tabane. Coming to you on the sidelines of Ari Sebetseng campaign out in El Dorado Park, and our frank interview tonight is with Mayor Herman Mashaba, whose term of office is coming to an end in a few days. Mayor, what are you going to do with yourself now?
Well, JJ, it's such a difficult, almost impossible question to answer. I think at the moment, as I've indicated, I'm really very tired. I don't think my state of mind would really be in a position to really make a decision. That is why I've requested people of South Africa to really give, of Johannesburg in particular, give me a chance to really take a break, a couple of months break, to go and reflect on my life, go and refresh myself, and then I can really make pronouncements about what I'd really like to really do with this life.
So no firm commitment about whether you may go back into politics, because a lot of people are saying maybe we've got to look at, in a sense, not just relying on party politics to have good people to serve society, right? And for a lot of people, you're an example of that you're out of politics, you enter politics to serve, and now you may be lost to that system, right? Is there temptation there to explore having to come back, but without having the constraints of a political party that will be a vehicle to get into service of the public?
You know, one thing that I thought about the last few weeks, ever since I made the pronouncement about my resignation, I said to myself, Herman, what do you do with your life? And I think if you really look at generally, be on social media, be in radios, be in the newspapers, talking to the communities, including today, people are pleading with, asking me to not leave or change my mind or form a political party. But then I said to myself, this can't be about me. I think in reflection, JJ, you remember that perhaps you were still young, prior to 1994 when we had CODESA. CODESA that actually gave birth to this 25 years of our new democracy. Political parties, politicians negotiated. And I look at it in reflection. Actually, the politicians actually negotiated a good deal for themselves, not for civil society. And I'm saying to myself, coming back into politics, if ever I have to really come back, then means I cannot really come back into politics with the same type of system. So after actually taking a decision, actually find a way where I can engage civil society, to engage this time around. 25 years of our democracy, one of the highest unemployment rate in the world, inequality, the most unequal society in the world, borderless the country, killed small businesses, drugs are destroying our communities. And I'm saying to myself, this project can't be about me. It has to really be around society. And I thought to myself, you know what, with my privileged position, can't I actually use my capacity to engage civil society to get involved in the second round of CODESA? Let society actually be the ones to determine what must really happen. And now, so what I've actually taken a decision, and something that I will launch beginning of December this year, where we come out with an avenue, a platform for civil society to engage on the type of society they want. And once, obviously, we get the outcome of this, then one can really decide.
Do you think there's space, though, for a new political movement? Because this sounds like Rampele vibes. Because you remember Rampele called this big platform, and we were all excited and so on, and it all fizzled out. There was a DA and Zille element in it. So it looks like we are now seeing this movie again. Are you going to, in a sense, trigger a discussion about a new political platform? Looks like it's all these parties
it's about what really civil society want, what type of political leadership they want. They want to continue with the current failed system, because look, the current system, without any doubt, I mean, I can really give you all the indicators. If we continue in the same path, we're going to collapse as a country. We need already a few years before, obviously, everything falls there in front of our eyes. Now, I'm asking South Africans, are we going to let our country collapse, or are we going to really do something about it? And I think and believe very strongly that there must be millions, if not thousands, of our people out there that are concerned about the direction our country is taking. Let us engage.
Yeah.
Let us engage. I will provide the platform for people to really engage. And then a few months down the line, let us really look at this the contribution that we are getting from our people. Then we can really decide. Perhaps people who are saying, Herman, come back into the political the world, perhaps I'm a wrong person. Maybe we've got Tabane somewhere who can obviously take over the reins and actually take this country forward.
I burned my fingers before in that. I don't think I'll try that again. But anyway, is it, in your view, right, possible, right, to find a movement? Remember, in the build-up to the struggle, right, you used to have forums such as the United Democratic Front. So this was not a political, but a movement, right? Because people sometimes feel excluded, and other people may question to say, but Herman Mashaba has been there for three years. Was it a better day for civil society, right? What kind of engagement did the city of Joburg, do for civil society when you were there? Or is it a situation where once politicians are in office, then they forget about civil society, they forget about even engaging business, and it then becomes about them? Like you are saying, the politicians got a good deal for themselves. Why must people trust that they to be different under you, that you are actually going to draw on the strengths of civil society?
It is precisely, JJ, you've already answered yourself, that let's actually get civil society to engage. And obviously I'm happy to really share that information and the data that we'll get out of this engagement. This is going to be public engagement. Come out with JJ Tabane or Mr. Mashaba from Guyane, from Mr. Zulu from somewhere in KwaZulu-Natal, and somewhere from Soweto. Give us input of really what type of new South Africa that we'd like to really have. We cannot sustain this high unemployment. We cannot sustain an economy that's growing at 0.4% when you've got a population growth of 2.6%, inflation at 5-6%. I mean, honestly, you don't have to be an economist, you don't have to be a political scientist, you don't have to be a political commentator to see that all these indicators are saying this country is going to collapse sooner rather than later. And I believe very strongly as a South African that there's a chance that the civil society can actually save our country.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of scrutiny is going to come in terms of your own track record, not just as mayor, but before, in terms of whether or not you consider yourself a change maker, a catalyst for change. Now, if you were to look at what you have achieved in the 3 years of Johannesburg, is there things, just one or two things, right, that you think if extrapolated, rather, right, or emulated by a national government, could actually grow the economy?
Look, I think a practical example, on the 1st of December, I'm using this as a practical example. On the 1st of December 2016, during my 100 days in office, I made a very profound statement that I want to turn the inner city of Johannesburg into a construction site. Yeah. I said, us as a city of Johannesburg, looking at the balance sheet of the province, looking at the balance sheet of the national government, there's just no way that we can provide affordable housing for our people. And here's the city, just 25 years ago, was one of the most modern cities in the world. 25 years of our democracy has let it collapse. I said, I'm going to take it back from criminal elements, take these buildings that have been hijacked, derelict, abandoned, offer them to the private sector to partner with us as government to build affordable accommodation for our people, student accommodation, small business areas. Here we are, 2 years later, 3 years later. We've now, as a city of Johannesburg, in the history of this country, we've now attracted 32 billion rands of construction business brought in by the private sector. Managed to get all the parties in council to support this, because I had to really demonstrate to all political parties that, look, guys, this is not an ideology. Our people live in squalor. Our people live in informal settlements with no basic services like having a toilet. In the meantime, we've got a city that's been taken over by criminal elements where the previous administration has allowed this decay to happen under their watch. I sold this. Council approved this inner city plan. As I said to you, everything else is history. 32 billion rands of construction, all happening at the same time. There's never happened in the history of this country. Yeah. And this is something that I believe anyone has to celebrate. And for it to succeed, this cannot just really be a Joburg challenge. Yeah. I guess all the cities all over the country are faced with the same challenge. You can go to Cape Town, you can go to Durban. Our people still live in squalor. And we need to...
Our people want to know, right, whether or not they could say that, the issue of job creation, which is a big issue, right, has been resolved. And one of my pet hates is when government come in and then they start from a blank slate as if the other governments never existed. And when you arrive, you cancel something called Josie at Work. Tell me once and for all today whether or not you believe that Josie at Work did not create any semblance of job creation amongst the people of Joburg, and what did you put in its place? Because it may have given hope to other people, etc. Right? And if you remove it as a program of the previous administration that was meant for job creation, what did you put in its place? And what can you give me in summary about what kind of job creation momentum you created yourself during your 3 years?
I think it's unfortunate for anyone to believe that Josie at Work was a job creation strategy, whereas was one of the most exploitative system ever by government, where you exploit your own people and giving them an idea that you are creating job opportunities for them. You can imagine someone working for 2,000 rands a month. You've got to have a membership of a political party for you to, in the first place, be given this opportunity, because these opportunities were not given to ordinary residents of the city of Johannesburg.
Is that a fact?
It was
the fact that Josie at Work, you had to be a member of the ANC?
You had to be a member of the...
That's a fact.
That's a fact. You had to be a member of the ANC. Actually, to make it even more painful, was that some of these recipients or beneficiaries of this had to buy these jobs. I mean, that is how exploitative the system was. So that is why I had to really cancel. I had to really scrap it. And I engaged the labor, I engaged officials of the city of Johannesburg. I said, we cannot continue with this exploitative. To really look at what is it that we can afford. Let us really look at improving the salaries of the wages of these people. It's not about, our people can't be about numbers. It's about actually at the same time giving them the dignity. That's why we insourced quite a number of people who were part of this.
How do you assess your own success on job creation?
Yeah, this inner city development plan, there's 32 billion rands of the... What we did as part of the condition, when we're saying to you, for you to really win this piece of land or building, what you do, prove to us that you've got the money to build, prove to us that you've got strong BE credentials, BE credentials without us as government prescribing to you who you must work with. You go and sort it out as entrepreneurs, as business people. Go and demonstrate to us how many jobs you are going to create during the construction phase. Go and demonstrate to us what type of rentals you're going to be charging our people, because at the end of the day, we want affordable accommodation.
All right, we are with Mayor Mashaba on the sidelines of RSA saying an initiative that he launched a couple of years ago to clean the crime and grime in the city of Johannesburg. Let's take a break now.